Inquiring Minds in here, out
It's
there,
11
all
o'clock.
around the world, and all the ships at sea. My name is Doug, and I'm back with another Inquiring Minds live stream for you, September 6th, 2025. Who knew it was fall already? I know the summer's got a couple of weeks left, but it's feeling like autumn is upon us. We're all back to school after Labor Day, or we're back to work after Labor Day, and the kids are back at school. Yay! So I've got an agenda for you guys. First of all, I have to apologize to all those people that were chatting to me for about 20 minutes or so. I'm still struggling with how YouTube Live works because it's so opaque. I try to set up a live stream in advance so that people can get notifications and get set up and ready to come, and we can chat for a bit before we actually go live on video. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This morning, all ready to go, had it scheduled and everything, and as soon as I went live with my broadcast software, it kicked everybody out of the previous chat. So first of all, I want to get a thumbs up from all of you. Oh, there's Copperplate 69. You finally got back. She was the first one in the chat, and then she got dumped. She's my co-pilot from Germany. I'm glad you got back on the chat again. Wow, the lights on Doug are showing up like a rock star. Okay. How about my audio? Am I getting audio here? I'm getting effects. Oh man, that's a new effect. Audio's good. Video's good. Excellent. So, welcome aboard everyone who is joining us. Let's see who's here. We have people in the chat. And let's see how many people. We have 32 people here. I must apologize for not sending out a notice sooner that we would indeed be doing a live stream this month, first Saturday of every month. But I had company all week, and so real life sort of takes over, and the virtual life sits in the background for a while. And because I'm going away on Monday, Wynn and I are going to be going to British Columbia for a week or so. I'm trying to do a number of videos in advance. So I completed one yesterday. I'm going to complete another one today. So we get next Saturday and Sunday taken care of because I won't be back in time to do any video editing. So I'm going to try to do it all in advance. Grab your coffees, grab your drinks of choice. Those of you that are in the morning can grab your coffees. Those of you that are in Europe can grab a cognac or whatever. That's good. And we're going to be here for about, I don't know, an hour and a bit, because I have a long agenda of stuff to talk about fountain pens, and that's why you're all here, right? So we all get into our little basements and play with our pens. So I'm going to show you, first off, welcome in everyone. Let's look at the agenda for September 2025. And again, it's the same old thing. What's new? What's old? We're going to look at Doug's mailbag. Name like nobody else sent me an email the other day, and we're going to talk about the issue that she brought up. And plus, I have a couple of updates myself out of Doug's mailbag, so I've sent email to myself. And I want you to set your calendars for the Pelikan Hub coming up this October 24th at 6:30 p.m. in your local time. So we'll talk a little bit about that in Doug's mailbag as well, about the Pelikan, what's happening with Pelikan and the Pelikan Hubs. And then, of course, my co-pilot, Copperplate 69, is going to keep me on track and remind me that I need to do a membership giveaway, and let's keep our fingers crossed that it works this time. YouTube has been really flaky with the membership giveaway feature. It comes and it goes. And set your calendars also for the next live stream, which will be Saturday, October 4th. And we will do all things Halloween, probably. And let's go back here. So let's talk about what's new. And that's new videos coming up. I've got a lot of new pens coming. I've got some new products coming, and I've got a couple of new video ideas coming on Saturdays as well. But the first thing I want to show you is really exciting. I was tentative at first. Let's go to my desk here. And can we see everything? Yes, we can. Now, I'll apologize in advance for my desk camera going on and off all the time. I still haven't fixed that problem. I don't know what the issue is. But this, folks, is the new Sheaffer Legacy from the new Sheaffer Pen Company. So an Indian pen retailer purchased the name and the rights and the entire kit and caboodle from whoever the previous owner was. I can't remember who they were, but they weren't, and there goes my camera, they weren't pen focused, let's say. Remember when Rubbermaid took over all kinds of brands back in the day, and we thought, okay, what's Rubbermaid got in common with fountain pens? But this fountain pen retailing company in India has purchased Sheaffer about a year ago, I think. And they are, the CEO is committed to fountain pens because he's a big fountain pen enthusiast. And so he said they were committed to bringing basically the company back again to the love of fountain pens and the design of fountain pens. And they've started out their offerings with the new Sheaffer Legacy. And it is that gorgeous imperial inlaid nib. Now they've started with a steel nib. They're not making the gold nib yet. And this is a cartridge converter pen. And we'll wait for my camera to come back again. And so when I saw this finally come out, I shot a note to my friend Joost Applebaum and said, "Oh, Joost, you have to send me one of those to review." And he popped it in the mail as soon as they got them. They started getting them in mid-August, and it arrived in like 10 days. Excuse me. And I was tentative because I love the original Sheaffer Legacy, and I love the original Sheaffer PFM. I've got a 1960 PFM, and I'm sort of worried about trying it out, thinking, oh God, I really hope it's not a dud, because I'm hoping the best for the new Sheaffer. If they could bring that line back, that brand back the way it was back in the day, we'll all be very, very happy. Especially, I think the Sheaffer, the original Sheaffer Imperial inlaid nib is probably the most beautiful fountain pen nib ever made. Of course, your mileage may vary with your aesthetics, but I think it is just gorgeous. And of course, they put this on the Imperials, they put it on the PFM, they put it on the Legacies, and they put it on the Targa, which was really, really popular. So you'll be seeing a review of this gorgeous fountain pen real soon now. I was going to do it sort of next week, maybe the week after, but I took it to my pen club meeting, Calgary Pen Club, and my friend Mike says, I have an original Legacy, and it was one of his first fountain pens, and he said, I'll bring it in, and he's going to loan it to me so we can do a real A-B comparison between the new Legacy and the old Legacy. So that's my big new pen news, and I got to tell a story about this. I was doing all kinds of video work yesterday with ink, and I was using this pen. I put it on my desk, and then I did a whole bunch of editing, and then I went to clear off my desk, and I couldn't find my pen. My pen. What happened to my pen? So I went a little bit ballistic.
My pen! My pen! My pen! My pen! My pen is missing. I've lost my pen, the one I do all my work with.
So yeah, I went a bit ballistic and I tore my office apart. I was on my hands and knees with a flashlight. It must have rolled off my desk. And then I discovered that my tray on my desk here has 9 fountain pens on it, and they're all Leonardos. That's where I keep all my Leonardos. But I gave one of my Leonardos away the other day to a very good friend of mine, and there was a blank spot. And so when I finished working with this pen, before I started editing, I put it in that blank spot. And of course, I never thought to look for my Sheaffer among all my Leonardos. And as soon as I gave up looking for my pen, then I saw it. Okay, that's my story. So, yeah, I had a bit of an adventure on the floor. Doug's adventure on the floor. So next up, this is a Duke. I've had one other Duke. It's a Chinese fountain pen brand. And it is a Duke D2. And what's cool about the Duke D2 is it comes with 2 nibs. One is a medium steel nib, and the other one is a Fude steel nib. And so you can interchange between the medium and the Fude. And this pen is very similar. If not, I'm 99% sure that this is a Jinhao X750, because it's almost identical to an X750, right down to, there goes the camera again, right down to the section, very similar. Come on, camera, you can do it. It's not going to come back. So you'll see me instead. Oh, now it comes back. So right down to the section. The section is very, very similar, if not identical, to an X750 from Jinhao. So whoever makes it, this was given to me in addition to the Moonman Mahjong P141 by Sally. She said, would you like to review this pen? So I'm going to do that. You'll see this review in the next few weeks, real soon now. I'm not much of a Fude fan. It's more like a paintbrush for me, but it gives really interesting effects. And just briefly, I want to tell you about something else that's coming up. I'm expecting any day now, real soon now, a new Aeroflex. And where's my old Aeroflex? Got it around here somewhere. No, I don't. Okay. But I did a review of the Aeroflex from Arutrio, and an amazing, amazing flexible nib. And so he saw that review and he said, I'm going to send you one of the new ones. And so I should have that in the next week or so. So you're going to see the Aeroflex 2. And I will wreck the whole idea of calligraphy by pretending that I can do it. But at least you'll see the new nib in operation. Oh, here it is. Let's put it back here. So here's the Aeroflex 1 in an Opus 88. And that nib is just crazy, crazy flexible. So you'll be seeing the Aeroflex 2. And I've also just received, this was really a nice surprise. I received this from the wonderful folks at Lochby. They had sent me, hang on a second, go get the other one. They had sent me this, the journaler, or the journal, and I'd been using this while I was traveling. It's got places for travel notebooks, all kinds of pockets, places to carry things, pen loops, and it's a really lovely product. And I've been carrying around, I like the little carry strap on it as well. So I've been carrying that around a lot. And then they sent me this. Would you be interested in reviewing this? Well, they didn't even ask me. They just sent it to me. And this is called the, I have to look it up, Sinatro V2. Sinatro V2. It's the same kind of material. It's a little bit softer and it has nice soft pockets on the outside. I always put my loop in there like that. And on the inside, it's got this honeycomb nylon here, but this is the same stuff that you see from, what's the name of the company? My brain fart. Rickshaw. Same kind of very, very soft material from Rickshaw. So you can put numbers of pens and even big pens in these pockets. I even put a converter in here one time when I was out. You do have to watch to make sure that you have your pens alternating when you close it. But this is just terrific. And let's take that out. Has a nice zip pull, elastic pull, very rugged. I'm using this every day now. So you'll see a review of the Lochby Sinatro V2. I don't know what Sinatro means. And over time, this material from Lochby gets a patina to it. It's like a tent material canvas. And some people don't like when things are worn like this, but I like the look of this once it's been worn in. So I've got lots of stuff from Lochby, and all their products have been excellent. Okay, so the next thing is a video that I just completed yesterday, and it is called In Search of an Extinct Ink as it fades away from view. Okay, come on back. There we go. This is a bottle of Sheaffer Peacock Blue from 1960, the early 1960s. It was 69 cents. And I picked this up at an antique store. And usually these bottles are full of dried ink or empty of dried ink. Look at that. It's a full bottle of Sheaffer Peacock Blue. And so I did a video on what the close matches are to the Sheaffer Peacock Blue, which is no longer available. They discontinued this in like 1999, 2000, something like that. And of course, Sheaffer's changed hands a number of times, and the American plant closed a long time ago. But this is the ink that got me into fountain pens back when I was in grade 7. And so I decided to do a comparison. And since I published that video, members will already see it. But since I published that video, I've already got 2 or 3 more inks suggestions from people which are close matches as well. But I did a scientific survey of what ink would replace my Sheaffer Script Peacock Blue, because I put it into my Sheaffer. Where are you? I put it in my Sheaffer Legacy because I just had to. But then I think, okay, well, I'm going to write a lot with this pen. I'm going to run out of this ink, and they don't make it anymore. So what's a close match? So I did that video. You'll see that next Saturday morning. Then I've got a couple of, let's go back here. Now I've got a couple of other video ideas coming on Saturdays in September. One is how to polish plastic. I do a lot of restoration videos on Sundays, resurrections, and so I've got a couple of Sheaffer touchdown pens from the 1950s, late 1950s, early 1960s. And these two are pretty much dead. They're not resurrectable, if that's a word, resurrectable. But they are certainly beat up. This one's all melted at the back. This was given to me to see if I could fix it. I can't. and this one's just broken. But the gold nibs are in good shape, so I'll keep them around. But it's got such wear on it from so many 70 some odd years of being used and kept in a drawer and stuff. I thought I would show how to take plastic like this, vintage plastic, and get it polished up to the point it looks like something like a Bennu. So I'm going to do that on a Saturday coming up, how to polish plastic. And then I'm doing a video called Send in the Clones, or it might be called Clone Wars or something like that. And I'm going to look at my favorite clones of some of the classic pens, because there are so many clones out there of the classics. I think one of you suggested or mentioned, would you please, I think it was George, mentioned, would you please stop cloning the Mont Blanc 149? We're so tired of it. How about some of these other classic pens? So that twigged in me that I should do a video on what my favorite Pilot Vanishing Point clone is, what my favorite Parker 51 clone is, Pelikan M800, Leonardo Momento Zero, Mont Blanc 149, 146, those kinds of classic pens, which are the ones that I would recommend as the best clones in that group. Let's go to the chat room and see what's happening over here in chat. Attack of the Clones, Hari says. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Just give me a second. I have to do a little housekeeping here. I'm going to try to bring up the chat in my screen. And I have to do that by pasting. And then I can grab, whoops. There we go. Now it works. See, because I had a new chat window here, it ruined my pop-up. So can everybody see? Everybody here still? Am I still broadcasting? You can all see this? Good. Excellent. Hi, Enzo. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, I realized I went blank for a second, but I had to edit and paste in this overlay here that you see right down here. I usually do that when just before I go live, but because it kicked everybody out and then we're all back again, I had to do it while we're live. So Molly says, I'm looking forward to a review of that myself. I keep looking for it in Stormtrooper and yellow black, but always out of stock. I think you're talking about the Majon. It's the clone of the Pilot Vanishing Point that has the fatter body. I have one of these around here somewhere. No sense looking. Hey Chaz, good to see you too. Thank you, Copperplate. I'm so sick of seeing jobs, lots of wonderful pens on eBay, perfect but minus nibs. Yeah, it's perfect except it doesn't write. Yeah, I like Clone Wars is a good one. The Clone War has started, must. It has. Okay. Let's go back to my desk again to see whether it's working, number one. Yes, it's working. And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of pens that aren't new. Some of them are a little bit older, but these are not Resurrections. These are all Viscontis from Murray. So I've got a bunch of Murray's Moments coming. This is a, guess what that is. That's a Homo sapiens. Yep. But what's cool about it is that it's the small one. There's a regular Homo sapiens right there. This is Murray's. Come on, camera, for God's sake. The not ready for prime time players. Yeah, that's a Bronze Age Harry, sorry. So we're going to have some Murray's Moments as soon as my camera comes back. Yeah, the lady Homo sapiens. So it's that much smaller than the regular Homo sapiens. It's significantly smaller. And I always found that this size pen is a little bit unwieldy and a little bit clunky in my hand. And so when I wrote with this of Murray's, I really liked it. And so my mind has changed regarding the Homo sapiens. In this size, I quite like it. And then I was over at Murray's place and we had a bit of a Visconti day. He said, "What do you want to talk about today?" I said, "Let's talk all things Visconti." And he came up with the mini Homo sapiens. And then he showed me this. This is a Visconti skeleton. And they only made like 30 of these in like 3 or 4 different underlay colors. This is titanium over silver. Beautiful fountain pen with a palladium nib. And again, it's a nice, manageable size. And then this was fascinating. So I saw probably 50, 60 Viscontis at Murray's. And these sort of grabbed my attention. And then he showed me this. This is totally unique. I think, I'm not even sure how many there were made. I might say on here. But this is a Visconti 100th anniversary of Rotary commissioned pen in this lapis lazuli kind of celluloid. But it's really hard to show because my camera's not focusing. But under that acrylic is a rotary wheel. But it's not just a rotary wheel. This top comes off. We'll wait for the camera to come back. I've turned off all my notifications and everything. And that iPhone keeps rotating like that. Speaking of rotating, there's the pin. Underneath that acrylic cap, there's a rotary pin. And when you open up the back of the pen, there is the clasp for the pin. So you can wear your pin and write with your pen because it's all contained right here. And it says 1905, 2005, rotary. And it's a captured converter. Beautiful, beautiful pen. And fascinating. Rotary pen people would go gaga over that. And then this is the piece of resistance here. Here we go. Come on, camera, you can do it. Come on. Maybe if I tap the camera, it'll do it. Hey, it worked. I just have to give it a nudge. This is a stacked coin celluloid It's called the Cosmopolitan. It's in the Divina kind of shape. Stacked celluloid. They only made 38 of these. Hook safe, palladium, nib. Incredible celluloid pen. And it, well, I think it's full of ink, so I'm not going to try to show you how the filling system works. But I just fell in love with this pen. So you'll be seeing that as well. And I can't wait to review this pen. It is just one of the most beautiful fountain pens I've ever seen. How did I get all those pens? Well, I went to Murray's, and he said, what do you want to look? What do you want to look at? And so I looked at a bunch of Viscontis, and I brought home 4. The 5th one I'm repairing for him. There's the ring here, it keeps coming off, so I'm fixing the Homo sapiens Bronze Age for him. So those are the Murray's Moments that are coming up. And let's see what people are saying. Yeah, oh my God, that's gorgeous. Yeah, it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So you want a Homo sapiens, huh? Well, I'd be looking, I don't think they make the Mini anymore. I'm not sure. But the Mini is more like my size, especially when it's posted, because the Bronze Age is just enormous once it's posted. Here's the Bronze Age. You post that, and that's an enormous pen. And I find it a bit unbalanced in my hand, the Bronze Age. But the Mini is really nice and comfortable and balanced beautifully. Slips in pocket, walks away slowly. Yeah, I go to a pen meeting, and Murray has cases and cases of pens. He says, what do you want to take today? Do you want to review that? How about this one? Do you want to review this one? So, and he's just retired. He's a lawyer, and he's just retired from many, many years at being a lawyer. And he's starting to wind down his fountain pen collection. And so all of us are kind of going, be interesting to see what you're getting rid of, because there's a few pens that I really like in your collection. And he's saying, yeah, well, it's all fair game, but for the right price. Can you afford that price? That's the key. That's the question. What do you use to glue that ring to lava resin? I tried one thing and it didn't work. And I've got a feeling that I'm going to have to ask Visconti what kind of glue they use, because nothing sticks to the lava. So I might be giving it back to Murray unfixed, because I don't quite know how to fix it at this point. Good evening from, what's that flag? Is that Germany? On my screen it looks different than it looks blue and red and yellow, but it looks like Germany over here. Molly says, being a lawyer, ask him to put you in his will just for the pens. Yeah. Well, there's an unwritten rule in the Calgary Pen Club that whoever has a pen collection and passes away from the club, the club will look at the collection and do sort of triage on it and recommend prices to whoever owns the collection in the family, so that they're not, the problem with estate sales, not for us buyers, but certainly for sellers, is that people don't know what they've got. And so they say, well, this is just an old pen, and they're giving away a pen that's worth thousands of dollars for no money at all. Yeah, he isn't currently selling from his collection. So I think I'm going to be doing, I'm I'm going to be doing another interview with Murray, and we're going to look at just vintage pens in his collection. Because while we were looking at the Viscontis, I got him to pull out some of the vintage collection he has, especially his vintage collection of desk pens. Really fascinating stuff. So just to do a video tour of his office with all the vintage desk pens would be in a video in its own. Ian says, I've actually started a catalog of my pen collection, photographing each one as I empty it. I'm using them in rotation, a few at a time. Well, that's a lot of work. Yeah, I don't know that I could do that. I'm having a hard time keeping up with what's inked and what isn't inked. And actually losing pens while they're sitting on my desk. So, oh, you got a platinum. Juicy Louise says, I got a vintage desk pen set today. Platinum. Excellent. Oh my God. Miss Marilyn, if I did a currently inked pens video, it would be an hour and a half long. Because I think I have like 30 pens currently inked. Okay, so let's look at what's old now. Just a minute, Molly says, have you tried the pen well? It holds your pen cap so you can put the pen in the cap when not writing without opening and closing it. Cool tool. Going to have Mr. Molly make one for me. I've seen, in fact, just 2 days ago, I was at one of my favorite antique shops, and I always see this thing here. It's wickedly overpriced at $150 or something, but it's a Bakelite inkwell. I can't remember. Was it Eversharp or Estabrook? I think it was Estabrook. With a glass top dome that you take the top off and you put the ink in, and then you put your desk pen in there, and it keeps your pen sealed. I've heard about that cap, the pen well, but I've not seen one. So let's look at what's old, because I've got a list of things to show you if my camera is going to continue working. Let's put the Viscontis away before I lose them, and then you know who will get sued. I'm going to keep these in the case and go to my desk and see whether we can see it. Okay, yeah. So I have a whole whack of these. I did a vintage unboxing for several of these, so some of you may have already seen these. When I was in one of my favorite antique malls north of the city, I looked at all my regular vendors and didn't see too much that excited me. And then I was about to leave, and I looked in a case where I never looked because it's all vintage toy cars and stuff like that, so I never look at that. And there was a tray full of about 15 vintage Waterman pens. And this is one of them. This is, oh God. There we go. And I'm not even sure what model this is, but it's a Waterman's made in Canada. So I'm guessing this is 1940s to the 1950s. Plastic pen. And then there's two Waterman Stalwarts, or Starlets, or Dauntless. They mixed up their names a lot, but they're two and beautiful gray pearlescent celluloid. Gold nibs. Gold nib. All they need is a polish. Some of the nibs need a little bit of work, but we'll get those working again. This is fascinating. This is a Waterman that goes back to the 1930s, and this green celluloid lever filler, but it's got the Waterman ball clip, which takes us back to the 30s, and another gold flexible nib. Smaller pen. This is the one that excited me. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera back again. There we go. This is the one that excited me. With a clip like this, that comes from the 1930s, and it's stamped on the bottom 52V, but this is not a 52V. I looked in ancient catalogs from Waterman, and this is basically a lady's size pen from the 30s, and it is the 92V, and it was just misstamped and made in Canada. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous pen with a nib that's going to be fabulous. It's not going to focus for me, are you? You're not going to focus. I think I'm going to ditch this camera for something else from now on. But so I can't wait to restore this little pen. But this is a lady's pen from the 1930s, a Waterman 92V. Here is a Parker 51 from the 1960s. It's an aerometric. There we go. So this might be converted. It's got into a cartridge converter pen with one of those brass converters. It's got a beautiful gold-filled cap. I love these gold-filled caps. They're so deep and heavy. They polish up like they're absolutely brand new. And then, turn the page, I have a 1940s third generation Parker Vacuumatic in emerald pearl, but it's a double jewel third generation. Those are a little bit rarer. And it looks black, it's azure blue. And we're back. And this Vacuumatic third generation is azure blue, stacked celluloid, and it is so grimy and old and faded that it looks black. And so those I love, because when the change from that to say this to this, I'll make this pen look like this pen in about a day or two. I think that's miraculous. That gives me so much joy to bring these pens back to life again. And I did a resurrection that you'll see next Sunday. Oh no, you've already seen it. Or is it tomorrow? No, you'll see it tomorrow. That's right, you'll see it tomorrow. Of two Sheaffer Imperials. These two pens were in horrible shape. This one I was going to restore, but it wouldn't come apart. And then the next day I went to a pen club meeting, and my friend Peter came back from Brazil, where he had been at a pen auction. He was doing other things as well. And he bought this for me to restore. And it was just horrible. And it now is less horrible. While I worked on it, the nib broke. You can't see that, but the nib broke. And I cut it into a stub. And now it writes like a paintbrush. And these are touchdowns. Both of these. Imperial 2. And so you'll see that review tomorrow. I was going to make cannibalized parts for these two pens to make one pen that worked, but I was able to restore both of them. So you'll see that coming up tomorrow morning. So that's what's old, including me. And, oh, I saved one of the bests for last here. Let's go back to the desk. This is a Waterman Skyrider from the 40s. Love this Art Deco clip in this beautiful honey striated celluloid pen and pencil set. Beautiful, flexible gold nib. Fabulous pen. So I can't wait to restore that as well. So I got my hands full of old stuff to come and to show you. And it's I've found it, like, especially with the video goes up tomorrow morning, it's frustrating when something breaks on you, but it's even more rewarding when you find that something breaks and you can actually make it work in a different way. So if I can get something working after I've totally botched it, it makes me feel a lot better. But I'll even post the failures. Everybody decided that they wanted to see my failures as well. So let's see what people are saying. There's TJ. Hi, TJ. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, the Imperials are gorgeous. And they had so many different versions. The Imperial 1, 2, 3. And even within like those Imperial 2s, these two pens are both Imperial 2s, but they're completely different. So how they didn't call them different things. The sections are different, the caps are different. This has a flush cap on it, this has a tapered cap band, but they're both Imperial 2s. So you know, you could probably write a thesis on the naming conventions of some of these companies, especially Waterman and Sheaffer. Their model numbers and names are all over the place. Yeah, I learned more from the failures too. Whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? And let's see. Talking amongst yourselves, that's good. Some of you guys never see each other unless you're meeting here, right? It's an opportunity to catch up. Our virtual pen meeting. Let's see. Writing pen case. All right. Let's go to Doug's mailbag. Doug, where may one up their membership to $5 a month? I'm not sure. It's sort of what you decide right at the beginning. I don't see that. So it might be in your renewal. It's 'cause I don't know if anybody knows where you up your membership from 99 cents to $5 to $4.99. Please let Chaz know. Okay, let's go to Doug's mailbag. Got to find it first. I've lost it.
Doug's mailbag.
And I have to go to my computer for this because I have. Let's go to my computer and I have Mad's question. Here's my computer. Hope you all can see that. So this is what Name Like Nobody Else sent me the other day. And this is what I want to sort of talk about here, where she says, let's get this bigger so you can see it. Just got word that my first Pelikan Hub got canceled. It was the only one in Louisiana over in New Orleans. The hub master backed out and nobody stepped up in time to take their place. We had the same issue here. Murray's always been our hub master, but he didn't respond. And so one of our other people have stepped up and they are being the hub master. So ours is going ahead. So I'm sorry to hear that your Pelikan Hub is not going ahead. But how hard can being a Pelikan Hub master be? It's not just wearing a funny hat. You have all kinds of responsibilities, Mad. Like accepting all of the swag. You have to give them your address, and they send you all the swag, all the ink, all the paper, the banner. So you'll get a banner that you can put up and everybody signs. The name tags, all activities, a bunch of sample pages where people can sit down and do samples of Pelikan inks, all kinds of activities. And then I think you have to report on your hub meeting as well. So you have to take photos, video, and send them a report so they can use that in their advertising. So yeah, look for it next year and sign up and be a hub master. You have to have a venue to be able to accept everybody, and your venue can just be your living room. And you have to have a minimum number of people registering to become a hub. So yeah, and the other thing is, where can I find a Murray? Well, you can't have ours, but you can meet him virtually, if you like, in our pen club meetings. In addition to Molly's question about Pelikan Hubs, I did want to remind everybody that it's on the 24th. And if you haven't signed up, it's too late now. The end of August was the deadline for signing up, but you can still attend. Mad says 7 people makes a hub. So that's just a coffee clutch right there. So just grab 6 other people and you've got a Pelikan Hub for 2026 in your city if you don't already have one. What was I saying? I was saying about Pelikan Hubs. Oh, you don't have to be registered to go. You have to be registered to get the ink, and to get the paper and all the swag and stuff like that, but you don't have to be registered to go. If you know there's one in your area, just contact the hub master. You can go to the Pelikan website and find out where the event is happening in your city or close to you, and you can just go and attend. You won't get the ink and the swag, but you can attend and meet other Pelikan-minded people. So yeah, see what's available in your area. Go to Pelikan, search Pelikan Hubs 2025 in Google, and it will come up with the Pelikan website that has the map of the world and shows where all of the hubs are happening in 2025. I also wanted to do an update, and this is my Doug's mailbag to myself. I mailed an email to myself and asked myself a question. And the question was, how could you be so stupid? And the answer was, well, just watch me, because I can be very stupid when I want to be. It wasn't stupidity, it was just not investigating far enough. I'm talking about the Moonman P140 versus the P141. In my review of the P141, I mentioned that the piston rod was plastic, where it's brass on this one, and that's correct. But I also said that both of these feeds were not ebonite, because from all inspection that I did, it looked to me like both were plastic. But I'm seeing a lot more information online. A number of people challenged me as well and said, no, you double check, because it looks like the P40 on mine is ebonite feed. So I went ahead and defaced my P140, and I love this pen. So I'm taking one for the team here, folks. I defaced my feed by taking a sharp implement and scratching the back of that feed until I got some little filings off it. And it is indeed ebonite. So the feed on the P140 with that sunshine, sun, moon logo on it, it says Expedition, is an ebonite feed. And they did indeed cheap out on the P141 by putting a plastic feed in. So why they didn't put the Expedition nib and feed in this one is beyond me. But they lightened the load here. The piston is plastic, the feed is plastic, and it's just not as nice a pen. And I put that down to the fact that Moonman, Majon really doesn't do injection molding plastic very, very well. They don't do it a lot, and they don't do it all that well. But the turned acrylic, when they do clear acrylic, this stuff is the best. Some of the best clear acrylic that you'll see in the world. So that's my take on the P140, P141. The P140 is an ebonite feed and a brass piston, and the P141 is a plastic feed and a plastic piston. You heard it here last. Yeah, David says dipping an ebonite feed in acetone tells you if it is or isn't. If it's ebonite, it won't melt. Of course, if it's plastic, you've got a mucky mess on your hand, and you need a new plastic feed. So I scratched both of them, and it's obvious that the P141 is plastic, and the P140 is ebonite. Thanks for that. Is the now I've lost it again. I hate losing this pen. Where's my legacy? There it is. Is it worth it? I got to look at the price again because this was given to me for a review by Yoast. So I didn't pay for it other than the duties on it. And that's my next Doug's mailbag question is about the de minimis tariffs. But I've been writing with this for a couple weeks now, and I adore it. I love it. I think I might like it better than my Sheaffer PFM from 1960. So I'm using it every day. So for the price, I think it's like $200, $225, something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous pen. And so I would certainly look into one. And I haven't even reviewed it yet, so you heard it here first when it comes to that. And thanks, Enzo. It's $212 US for the Legacy. I know, right? But my PFM, if I don't use it enough, it seizes up. It takes a lot of maintenance. That snorkel is not an easy thing to maintain. You have to keep ink going through it. This is just it's a modern version. It feels a little bit heavier than the PFM because the PFM is plastic and this is brass, enamel over brass. So it's about 5 grams heavier, this, than the PFM. But I love it. Yes, soon to be 414 because of the orange cancer. Thanks, Chaz. And that sort of segues into my next question of myself for Doug's mailbag. And that is, what, Professor, happened when the de minimis was lifted, discontinued for the U.S. imports? And for those that don't know, the de minimis was that it used to be anything coming into the United States that was valued $800 or less was not considered for import duties taxes. Anything $800 for the unit or more was. And it was called the de minimis. They lifted that at the end of August. And I've just completed a couple of pen sales and I had to go through the rigmarole of getting it through U.S. Customs. And I'll give you this example. I sold a pen to a gentleman in California, and the shipping before de minimis was $10. And
It's 12 o'clock.
thank you. And after the de minimis, the shipping was $20. So another $10. Not all of that was tariff. $5 or $6 of that was tariff, of the extra, but the rest was service fees, brokerage fees, handling fees, administration fees. It added up to $10 more. So what used to cost you $10 if you bought a pen from me if you're in the United States is now going to cost $20. And of course, I have to pay that when I pay for the postage. So I pass it on to you. And that's what's happening for everything, not just fountain pens, for everything. Plus, I have to go to the pen and I have to put on the pen a tag here that says made in the U.S. So this is a pen that was made in 1947 in Janesville, Wisconsin, by Sheaffer, by Parker. And it's a U.S. product made years ago by a company that no longer exists. And whoever is buying it is paying duty on it, is paying tariff on it. And I just think that's ludicrous. You know, it's U.S. made. So the idea of tariff is to try to protect your home business, your home industries. So pen makers in the United States, we're protecting them by forcing people to buy U.S. made pens. Well, I'm selling you a U.S. made pen and you're paying extra for it because it came from me in Canada. It's used. They haven't figured out the vintage and used market yet. And the hoops that we're having to go through now is the amount of extra handling. That's almost double the tariff, is just the handling fees. So everything is going to go up. She all going to go up. So that's my rant about tariffs. But that's I thought about not shipping anything or not selling anything to anybody in the United States. But it really isn't up to me. If you're willing to pay double the postage for something from me, then fine, I'll send it because it goes. And look who this is. Hello, James. Good to see you. This is my son, James Rathbun. This is a good moment to mention the Ink Buddies on Etsy will be more expensive to U.S. customers because we are also getting hit with this. Even the $6 Ink Buddies are getting hit with it. So James takes my designs of Ink Buddy stuff and prints them for me in his print shop, his 3D print lab, where he makes all kinds of really, really cool stuff. Not just Ink Buddies. He makes full cosplay costumes, the Mandalorian, Darth Vader, you know, all that kind of stuff. Star Wars weapons, Star Trek phasers, all that kind of thing. On Etsy at, what's the name of your shop, James? I just forgot. Just went out of my head. It's called Allied Armorers on Etsy. So if you want to see Ink Buddies, go to his Etsy store, Allied Armorers, and take a look at all the Ink Buddy stuff. He'll print it and send it to you. Enzo says, I got my Ink Buddies years ago, used very frequently. I get all the seconds, the things, the prints that don't quite work right. James will send them to me. I got a whole bag of them. I use them a lot as well. Allied Armorers. There you go. Thanks, James. Good to see you. It's nice that you're not working now. James works in film, and it's seasonal. So he's been working on set as a technician, a lighting technician on the CBC series Heartland, which just filmed, I think, just wrapped their 18th season, 19th season. And they just had a strike and a wrap party and all of that just last week. So James is now full-time doing 3D prints. So if you want stuff printed, go to Allied Armorers. He's still half asleep. Well, it is noon. Excuse me. Chaz says, shoot, I do too. Opening a koi in Toronto. At James R. Send me a line. Yeah, I have Chaz's email address if you want to contact him. Everybody wants to meet James. Ink buddies are brilliant. Used one today. Whoops. Things keep flipping on me. KVK says, Mr. Doug, have you tried any Indian inks? Well, India ink isn't good for fountain pens. I'm just teasing. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think so. I don't tend to get inks shipped across borders. I try to either, if they're going to be sent to my door, I will get them through Amazon. Or mostly I buy my inks at brick and mortar shops here in town. I just don't like the idea of a bottle of ink traveling, a long distance. I will not get into the smuggling of pens. Krishna have restocked. I've heard a lot of good things about Krishna ink, so I might have to look into it. So where's my co-pilot? Are you still there, G? I think it's time that we give away a membership. There she is. Just a few seconds. Okay, yes. Let's do another giveaway. Now, when I first started doing this, when they first brought out the feature, about a year ago, I guess, of giving away free memberships during a live stream, my daughter was working at Long and McQuaid here. She was an instrument repair technician. She's now working as an aircraft engineer, learning to be an aeronautical engineer and fixing and maintaining helicopters. Fascinating career. But when she was working at Long and McQuaid and fixing instruments, she'd work at a bench and she'd have her earbuds in and she would watch the live stream on Saturday mornings. And the first time or the second time I gave away memberships, she got a membership. And I thought everybody's going to think it's nepotism, right? Or it's favoritism for family. I had no idea, but I randomly gave her a membership. And I apologized to everybody, it's not rigged. And then the next month she was watching and she got another membership back to back. So we'll have to see when I give away these 5 memberships whether James gets one or not. That would be really funny. Yeah, I'll have to make him give it up. So here we go. Let's take a look to see how many people are here. First of all, we have 59 concurrent members here right now. So let's do a drum roll here and see if we can find it. I'm doing all this setup and it might not even be there this month. Sometimes it just is missing. And it's there. Membership gifting. Terms apply. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. James is going. Here we go. Okay, Sneeze has received a gift membership. Shane received a gift membership. Sam has received a gift membership. Keenops has received a gift. And Arlene Lewis has received a membership. Congratulations to the 5 of you. What that gets you is membership to Inkquiring Minds. Wow, you get a gift card. No, you don't get a gift card. You get instant access to my videos the moment I post them. So sometimes these renovation resurrection videos, I will do them, resurrect a pen a week in advance and put that video up, and you'll get the opportunity a week before everybody else to purchase the pen if it's for sale. So you get instant notifications whenever, or instant access to my videos, and you'll get unboxing videos, and you get cool emojis and badges, and all kinds of cool things like stars on your name, like Chaz here. You get a shovel and asked to pale snow in Doug's backyard. I think membership should get you a free Murray pen. Yeah, and that membership, that free membership that you just received, the 5 of you, congratulations, lasts for 1 month, and it doesn't roll over. So if you want it to continue the next month, then you have to do it manually. But you can join as a member for just 99 cents a month. And the point is, with the memberships, it actually saved my channel, because I was going to pack it all up because of all the crap I was seeing from, you know, the trolls on the internet. And I really didn't want to have to read all that. Then YouTube came up with the membership. And so I got the lowest membership level tier that I could, which is 99 cents, so that if you're going to pay $1 a month, I mean, it's hardly anything, but if you're going to actually commit to paying $1 a month, it means that you want to be here and you want to have the conversation. And so I will have a conversation with you as well. So I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section. I go through and I can filter my comments by membership. So I just see the member comments first, and I answer all those, and then I see everything else, and I'll answer or not answer, depending. And so it basically weeds out a lot of the trolls on the internet and keeps me sane from having to deal with idiots. And usually in Doug's mailbag, I show some of the crap emails and crap comments that I get. I do a screenshot of them and comment on them. But this past month has been fairly clear. No trolls this month, so whatever we're doing, it's working. So that's great, and congratulations on that membership. Yeah, Hari says, no one wants trolls on YouTube. You're absolutely correct. And it's the anonymity, I think people like to lash out. And people feel that they feel inadequate when they see other people doing creative things online. And so they feel that by striking out at them, it will make them feel better about their poor, miserable lives. So thanks, Rebecca. That's really nice of you to say. Is James still here? You can still be here, James. You didn't win a membership. He said he was going to leave. I really appreciate that you allow for a low membership fee. I'm on a very low income, and it's the only paid subscription I have. Well, that's really lovely of you to say, TJ. And you've been a member and a supporter of my channel from the very, very beginning. When I see my comments, they're filtered by whether I've responded or not. And of course, all that started sort of midway through my YouTube channel, the history. And so there are certain ones that haven't been commented on because they're 5 years old. And so the top one that I see every day when I see new comments come up, but I always see the last one that hasn't been commented on, and it's from TJ, and it's from like 5 years ago. So I see your name, TJ Archivist, every single time that I'm looking at my comments. And it reminds me of how much support that you've given me over the years, and I really appreciate it. I did leave, but I'm back. Yeah, you didn't win. Thanks for being here, James. It's nice to see you. This is the first live stream he's participated in. My daughter's been at a couple, but it's nice to see James. He's a hard worker. I'll say that here on the record. Yeah, becoming a member. 99 cents a month. And those of you that are paying $4.99 a month, and it's a choice, whether you want to kick in more to support my channel. There's a handful of you, and that you've been doing that for quite a long time, and I really appreciate that. I was actually just looking through last night the possibility of going to Patreon, and I kind of shied away from it because it feels like, if you're going to pay for a Patreon membership to my channel, that I have to deliver. Kind of feels like work. And I do this as a hobby. I got into it by accident 5 years ago. I was doing guitar videos and no one was watching. But then I do a pen review and all of a sudden there's 1,000 people watching. It's just, wow. It's just surprised me. So, I thought, well, if I'm doing this as a hobby. And as soon as it stops being fun, I'm going to give it up. And for a while there, it was a hardship. It was making me mad every day. And so I was very close to giving it up. And my good friend Stephen Brown, SBRA Brown, gave me some really good advice when I wrote to him about that. And he said, well, don't read the comments. And just lately, I've written him back and said, well, you need to take your own advice, Steve, because he's been reading his comments and it's starting to piss him off. So stop reading the comments. But it's not easy being a creative content creator on YouTube, especially doing them regularly. It becomes like a regular job. And I'm retired. And so those of you that are doing this kind of stuff and you have a full-time job and this is your what they call side hustle, good on you. Kudos, because it's not easy. I'm still finding it fun. I really enjoy the creation. I enjoy doing the reviews and the research. I really enjoy doing the editing and making stupid dad jokes and adding funny things. And I figure if it makes me laugh, it is going to make one person out there laugh, then I'm okay with it. If 10 people say you're an idiot, that's fine, but I've made one person laugh. So, I'm editing away and I think of something and I plug in a cutaway and I chuckle to myself here all by myself. I think, okay, well, if I'm laughing, someone else will. So, yeah. And there's my co-pilot. Thank you, Copperplate. You're doing all your wonderful work so perfectly. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Oscar is always the guy that's going to laugh. I know. When I make stupid things, I know the Oscars are going to laugh. Oscar gave me a gift. I always have it right here. Several years ago, Oscar sent me this Kershaw. Because he likes knives. There's another rabbit hole for you guys, knives. And this Kershaw is a Kershaw Leek, and it's a wonderful knife. And he sent it from the States across the Canadian border and was worried about whether it would make it or not. So he sent it in pieces, in separate parcels. I think that's great. And I put it together myself, so it was a collaborative effort. And I just love this knife, and I use it all the time. Thank you, Oscar. And you have a terrific sense of humor because it matches mine. Yeah, and Miss Marilyn, you got to go over and see Miss Marilyn's channel. I make inky videos almost every day. There's a lot of content from Miss Marilyn. And kudos to you for doing that religiously. It's one of the things that wears people down is making content and sending it out there, and you never know what kind of response you're going to get. It can be debilitating. And Marilyn Darling has made 3,000 videos. I think I'm at the 600 videos or something like that. But yeah, absolutely. Brava. Yep. Molly says, Marilyn Darling, I was just about to write that. We haven't seen a Cary Grant out in a while. Where's my Metropolitan? Gotta do that comparison with a Metropolitan and toss it away. Get out. Does everybody know what film that's from? That's from His Girl Friday. Wonderful, wonderful film. If you've, it's a screwball comedy, fast-paced, very funny. There's a scene in that film where Cary Grant's talking to his little sidekick mobster, and he's explaining that he wants to get that guy out in the office and take him out of the office. And he says, "What does he look like, boss?" And Cary Grant goes, "He looks like that guy from the movies. What's his name? Ralph Bellamy." Well, it is Ralph Bellamy. I think that kind of stuff just slays me. I just love it. No, it's from His Girl Friday. The Philadelphia story is where he takes Katharine Hepburn by the face and shoves her after she breaks his golf clubs. That a terrific film. One of my favorite comedies of all time. Any Cary Grant video is funny. There's just something that they had back then that they don't have now. Very true. Don't think so. Cary Grant wasn't in Something Like It Hot. That was that was Tony Curtis pretending he was Cary Grant. He did the Cary Grant accent. Nobody talks like that. Yeah, that was Tony Curtis doing Cary Grant. Yeah. Yeah, these are all Howard Hawks screwball comedies. So His Girl Friday is Howard Hawks, and Bringing Up Baby is a Howard Hawks with Katharine Hepburn. There's a great scene where she splits her dress, and they have to walk through the nightclub with him walking right behind her. If you get a chance to see Bringing Up Baby, it's hilarious. They remade that film as with Barbara Streisand. What was it called? What's Up, Doc? Now we're talking film. You'll get me going for another half an hour if we talk film. I didn't tell you guys, but my degree is in film criticism. So I spent my university years at 16 frames per second all day, all night. I'd watch 3, maybe 15, 16 films a week, something like that. Back in the day. And that's where I learned to write in the dark. Because when you're making notes in a darkened lecture theater watching a film, you can't see your notes. So you have to write on a page just by feel. And I learned to write in the dark, and I learned to write my own scrawl. No one else can read it. Then I thought about being a doctor. Hari's got to go, watching a film in the cinemas. Goodbye. Good to see you, Hari. And we're coming up to the end of our time together today. Let's remember that the next live stream, folks, is on October 4th, Saturday, at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 10 a.m. Pacific. Make sure you mark your calendars and come again next time. Please, in advance of next October's live stream, send me email at inkquiringminds@gmail.com with any questions you might want me to raise or topics that you might want to talk about in October. I think we'll talk about the upcoming Pelikan Hub. I think we'll talk about the upcoming Halloween. I've got a really cool Halloween pen to show in October. I got it last year from Bennu. We'll show that again. So thank you all for... Oh, so a question here. Mr. Doug, you're given only 2 choices between a Pelikan M1000 and a Pilot 823. Depending only on performance, which one do you prefer? Well, I've never owned a Pilot 823. I've written with them, but I would have to go with the Pelikan M1000, even though it's a little bit big. My best pen in my collection of hundreds of pens is my Pelikan M800 Blue Stripe. This is the finest fountain pen I've ever written with, and I've written with many of Murray's fabulous pens. Still, this is my favorite. It just makes my handwriting so much better. I think that's the only real tell that I can say. If the pen feels comfortable, and my handwriting, oh boy, that looks good. What's the difference between what I was doing yesterday and this? Well, it's the pen, isn't it? So thank you all for joining me here today for this live stream. I've really enjoyed my time with all of you. Thank you for participating. Thank you to my lovely assistant, Copperplate, my co-pilot, for keeping me on track. And we will see you in October. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. So good night and goodbye. I'll leave the chat open for a while so you can all say goodbye to each other.